Ho, 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 and welcome to episode 21 of Down Underworld Denizens, brought to you by Jester Prince and the Terra Australis team. And I'd like to start the episode off with a question for our commentary team. This one's more in the nature of granting wishes, being a Christmas episode. I've got a question I'd like to pose to you two guys. If Warhammer granted you one wish, which word or phrase from a previous edition would you change back to? Now you can't change the rule, just the name.
It's not called a rush, it's called a go for it. And if you don't believe me, then we can have words.
Nice. If you go back enough editions, it wasn't ever team value, it was team rating. And I just think TR or team rating is cooler. And likewise, I'm not a big fan of dedicated fans. Let's bring back fan factor. So there you go. There's my word change. What about you, Millsy?
Oh, I actually had quite a couple of them, or quite a few of them, obviously. But the biggest one I want is I just want to go back and change the wording in one of the Spike magazines. Now, it comes from the Lizardman Spike magazine, and it's called the Lustrian Croakers. Now, they have been changed to a Lizardman team. I just want them changed back to being a Slan team, and we'll take it from there, whether with Slan come back or not.
I wanted to jump in with a super quick fact. Apparently, in the new edition, you can no longer choose to not use dodge, which you might say, well, why would you ever not want to use dodge? Well, normally it's to stop being crowd surfed, so actually deliberately falling over so you don't end up in the crowd. But in 2025, that's no longer a choice according to the rules. The new not defender stumbles, but just stumbles die. The result says if the target player has the dodge skill, then the result becomes a pushback. So it appears no longer to have choice. The other thing I just wanted to quickly, super briefly mention is that we did have a minor glitch in my editing of the last episode, but I stitched together the episode, and the original upload had a glitch about the 32-minute mark to 39-minute mark. If you have Down Underworld Denizens set as your automatic download in your podcast of choice, you may have that glitch in your recording of episode 20. Just delete that download and re-download it, and the new version with the fixed editing issue will be fine. So apologies to everybody that had an error or had a glitch in their listening to episode 20. Well, on Down Underworld Denizens, we are absolutely delighted to have on Clay Meteyard, aka ClayInfinity, who Clay and I go way back. Clay used to play in CanCon back in the day. And then I had such a high regard for Clay when I decided to step down as organizer of CanCon. I actually asked Clay whether he would be willing to take it up and hand the mantle of tournament organizer over to Clay. I thought he was a sensible head. I thought he was a man who knew how to organise such a big event well, and he did a stellar job for a number of years before handing it on himself to the late Gavin Pearce. So Clay is also an extremely good blood bowler, has represented Australia before on the Australian team, and also recently was in the top 64 coaches in the world on Blood Bowl 3's World Challenge, which is the renamed World Cup, which they didn't realise was a clash of names due to the NAF World Cup. But yes, this is Blood Bowl 3's World Challenge. Clay qualified for that, and I felt was a little hard done by losing out on tiebreakers in that round of 64. Clay, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Babs. Thank you. That's a long intro. I've never really been described as in such a way in Blood Bowl terms, but thanks for having me. Nice to be here.
Anything else you wanted to add to our listeners that would help them understand who you are?
Oh, for me, yeah. So you're right, Babs. I took over running CanCon, I think, in 2007 and 8 editions, and then my work has taken me over, and I'm now based in Dubai, in the Middle East, and this is my second stint after having some time back in Australia in the COVID years. And I guess essentially I've always sort of kept my hand in with Blood Bowl, mainly through Fumble, But in more recent times, coming back to Australia, playing a lot more tabletop. I've also attended a few of the World Cups in Europe, and and I guess what I'm primarily here to talk about today is EuroBowl, and I've been fortunate enough to represent Australia twice in 2024 and 2025 in Athens and Budapest, respectively.
Yeah, so that's a great segue. So Clay, we have had a standing invitation to send an Australian contingent to EuroBowl for about 10 years, I believe. And then finally, for Athens, we managed to get the 8 people who we needed to actually front up a team. That's not a small task to ask Blood Bowlers to, front up all the travel expenses and accommodation costs and everything else to do with travel, and get over to what is effectively, a Blood Bowl tournament against the best of the best of the best. EuroBowl really is kind of the international competition level event, because Blood Bowl is more of a party. EuroBowl is literally the best of each nation competing against each other, and Australia has kind of one hand tied behind its back because of the travel risk, the travel cost, and therefore it's a matter of, up until recently anyway, it's been whoever can afford to go is on the team. So Clay, tell us a little bit more about what you want to say about Poland.
So let me talk about EuroBowl in the context of what EuroBowl is. The World Cup is held every 4 years. It's a festival of Blood Bowl. So you can get yourself and 5 of your mates to form a team of 6, and you can turn up for the 9 games over 3 days and just enjoy the party that is World Cup. 2023 Alicante, we had 2,300 people turn up. In EuroBowl, it's a totally different kettle of fish. I would describe it as the most competitive Blood Bowl tournament in the world. It's held every year that's not a World Cup year, so 3 years out of every 4. And what makes it different is that it's only 1 team per country. So in the 2025 event that we've just had, there were 30 countries, 8 players, so 240 people. And there is a sideline tournament as well, which I'll talk a bit about later on, which is the EuroPen. So there is a general admission if you can get a ticket. It's generally limited numbers to about 300 or 400 people. But if you can get a ticket to that, that's a sort of sideline tournament that runs as well. And each country that is represented at EuroBowl is entitled to 1 EuroPen team as well. So there's teams of 4 in the EuroPen. But for the EuroBowl, it's not for the faint-hearted, if I can say that. It's 8 player teams, and you are truly representing your country. For us, Australia, we made it in 2024 to Athens, and that was really driven by Georgie Christo in Sydney. George, being of Cypriot descent and a near fluent Greek speaker, he was able to engage with the Athens organisers and get Australia in. The EuroBowl, even though it is only held in Europe, is sort of now developing into the Eurovision Song Contest, where Team USA have sent a team now for 3 editions, Australia twice, Canada twice, and I can state for the first time in the 2026 edition, Brazil is sending a team. So we're at least up to 31 teams if everyone backs up again as they did from Budapest. So very prestigious event. But I guess what I'm here to talk about is, from an Australian point of view, our process. Some countries have long selection criteria, selection tournaments, processes. The English turn themselves in knots in terms of finding a captain and who will be in the English team. For Australia, traditionally it's been, do you have a passport and do you have time and the cash to get yourself to Europe to play? So let's just say that the quality of our team is varied, and we did win the wooden spoon in the last edition. So less said about that, the better. But yeah, I attended the team captains meeting last week, and there was some gnashing of teeth about prizes and trophies and how second place this year at Budapest, individuals didn't get a trophy, and I was more concerned that we didn't get a wooden spoon each. So
100%. You push for that.
Yes,
they got to step
exactly.
up to Australian standards here. Come on.
Exactly. So, but as daunting as it sounds, and as the pressure that some countries do put themselves under, I guess us Australians have always sort of maintained a sort of carefree attitude and have enjoyed it for what it is, a great experience. For those who've never played Blood Bowl overseas, and I don't count New Zealand, for those who've never gone to a European tournament or World Cup or anything overseas, the way people play Blood Bowl was different. The Spanish, the Italians, the French, they all have their style and their flair and how they roll dice and how they cheer, and it's a fantastic experience. And so, despite the competitiveness of the actual tournament, I still think that every Australian, if they have the opportunity and the financial wherewithal to get to Europe, it's something that you should try and do.
What I was going to say is, obviously you've mentioned that you're captain of the Australian team and you're heading to Warsaw in Poland. Tell us if our listeners are listening in and they are really interested. Like, I know Stewie is keen to attempt to make the team a second time, having gone to Budapest. Yep. How would our listeners apply to be considered?
Timing is perfect now, Babs. We're very close to having to register the team, which is in late January. So between now and then, we're looking to find willing and able bodies. I think the best way is to contact myself, ClayInfinity, on Discord. I'm on the AusBowl channel. I'm on the New South Wales channel. I'm on, if you're a fumbler, I'm on the Fumble channel. BB3 channel. I'm on all these channels. My username is the same. So just ping me a private message on Discord. It's ClayInfinity. We are actually blessed this year. I think we are going to actually have to make selections. So we are anticipating this time, for the first time, to be able to take 12 people to Warsaw, run a Team Australia EuroBowl team and a Team Australia EuroPen team. So we're trying to find and select 12 people by late January. Probably by mid-January, and then register the team when the ticketing comes open. Probably at this stage, I've got somewhere between 12 and 16 people who are willing to attend. Myself, I'm in Dubai. It's a little bit easier. We've got Chris Delaney, who's Gumby on the NAF, who was our captain last year, or 2025 edition, was still this year. He's returning. George's brother Demi is based in Europe now, and he's keen to put his hand up. So we've got 3 Australians who are closer to Europe than mainland Australia. But on top of that, we've got about 9 or 10 other people who've already expressed an interest. I won't name names, but there's some very good credentialed Australian coaches that have put their hand up. And yes, Stewie's one of those that's indicated he'd love to come back again. And so we're looking to have a squad of 12, and then probably a couple on reserve in case of last minute fallouts. 2 years ago, we did have one guy withdraw because his daughter was going to have a baby and he wanted to be in Australia for the birth of his first grandchild, which is, okay as an excuse. So we do need to have a couple of people who are prepared to come at short notice as well. So effectively, if you want to play, if you want to, it's almost like an adventure. If you're, like a Tolkien style adventure, if you want to be like a hobbit and travel all the way from Australia to Europe to play, just message me. And we've got a Team Australia Discord channel. So if you have a way of finding these things, by all means, try and find the channel. But I can link you to that if you message me direct. The rule set is already a tentative rule set is already out. It's also quite exciting given it's the new 2025 rules. So the meta is all over the place, and we've already started crunching data and rosters and so forth. The tournament's rules pack, I won't get into it too much detail, but it is tight. The thing about EuroBowl is they don't like to have high variance, star builds and weird and wacky builds. It's quite what I'd call technically correct Blood Bowl, if I can use that term. But given the new meta, it's also a little bit untested. So it should be interesting. And maybe as Australians, we can find a little wrinkle in the rule set and be able to get a few wins if we pick up a race that's probably not on everyone's radar.
The money's really tight. I saw that. So it's permissive in that you can take any star you like, but the cost is high because the TV's low. Yes. That's how you keep it in check.
Yeah. Like we've been crunching some numbers on some rosters, and there's some teams you just couldn't play. And my beloved Dwarves have been nerfed by Games Workshop, and now they've been nerfed by keeping the Dwarves in tier 1 for this rule pack, which I don't understand. So
well, wait for it. That might shift. They did say there's a new rules pack coming out on the 17th of January.
Yes, they are. So we're also being asked as captains to sort of try and organise games. But sitting here in my lounge room in Dubai, I don't really have anyone to play with. Tournaments already locked in for the early part of the calendar year in Australia, with their own rules packs already. So, play testing between now and mid-January is going to be a bit skinny for pretty much most parts around the world. We're giving feedback to the organisers on our roster crunching. And they'll, as you said, Babs, they're going to tweak the rules on January 17. And I think there'll be a couple of tweaks as tournament data comes in as well. So there's this weird, we've got to register a team. We've got to, not so much the rosters and races and so forth, but we've got to register a team, pay some money down. And then they'll be, we'll be working out rule sets and so forth as the year goes on. And then we'll be picking the actual 8 people for EuroBowl and the 4 people for EuroPen, somewhere beyond end of January into March. So, but now is the time, if you do find that this is something that you could be seeing yourself doing, now is the time to contact me pretty quickly if you can.
Yeah, brilliant. And will you be using coaches' ELO rankings on the NAF as a coach? Will you be using, their I don't know, their whatever the criteria it is in Fumble or BB3? Will you be, consulting the bones to work out the team? What's the process?
Yeah, all of the above, Babs. I think, the selection criteria in the past has been passport and cash. This time we've got a lot more interest. So we are looking at NAF records, ELO. We're able to distill ELO ranking versus 200 plus rated coaches. So the Mike Davies tableau of data is quite handy. There's Fumble data, BB3 data, individual races, what are coaches good at versus what's likely to be good in the meta. So, for example, if you're I'm trying to think, like a dwarf, right? We're talking about dwarves. Dwarves are, I would not recommend putting a dwarf team into a EuroBowl roster squad. And so if you're only a dwarf player, then probably your chances are you go down the pecking order. There will be a squad because people need to book flights. And then we will also be doing a lot of play testing. Fumble is expected to be 2025 compliant by February, and we'll be running some practice matches and so forth. We are lining up practice matches against opposing national squads. I'm already talking to Canada. We've sort of struck up a little camaraderie with the Canadians. We talked last time that we'd have some form of perpetual trophy between Australia and Canada in terms of EuroBowl results. So, we're a bit kindred spirits that we're not European and we're not American. So, so I'm already talking to the Canadian captain about trying to set something up. It's all subject to Fumble's availability, of course. We would like people in the Australian community in general, even if you are not able to attend a EuroBowl, but to make yourself available for Fumble-aligned tournaments, games days, those sorts of things. Help us crunch rosters and test things out. And then ultimately, when all's said and done, who will play the 8 EuroBowl and who will be the 4 EuroPen and who will be reserves? there'll be tea leaves and coin flips, I think, Babs. So there's no hard and fast selection criteria, but it all comes down to a conglomerate of what's the word I'm looking for? Conglomerate of sort of factors that go into who shall be in the team.
So you're saying that voodoo rituals from Mozambique are not off the table?
Oh no, I'll be doing them myself, yeah. And we'll probably get some dolls made up of the English team and so forth, and put some pins in them as well.
Thanks so much for coming on, Down Underworld Denizens, Clay. It's been an absolute privilege. We'd love to chat for longer, but we've got to keep this one fairly tight.
No, thank you for the opportunity, and we'll come back and let you know how we get on in October, November next year. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
No worries. Cheers.
Wilts, you've got a final question you've got to ask Clay.
Apparently, it's a tradition now that I have to ask, but Mr. ClayInfinity, can you please give us a very generous Down Underworld Denizens, that's brilliant?
Yep.
But with style.
Oh, okay. That's brilliant.
I like it. That was class.
That was classy, yeah.
Yeah, I've got a head for radio, so you know.
Yeah, so do we.
Hey, look, we've got an amazing set of gifts. Christmas is a time of gift giving. It's a time of celebration. Gifts are big this time of year, and Down Underworld Denizens, we want to start or continue our tradition of some Christmas gifts that we started last year. I've had a number of people reach out who listen to Down Underworld Denizens outside of Australia, and a couple within Australia who have been really keen to get their hands on a couple of miniatures that I've organised for tournaments. So upcoming Tournament of Champions miniature Deathroll the Croc. That's the Queensland state team mascot, which is a Kroxigor, and Mrs. Davy Jones, who may play as a couple of star players too, either a vampire star player or a dark elf star player. So Mrs. Davy Jones and Deathroll the Croc, I will put pictures up of them. If you want to get your hands on that, I have arranged to make them available for purchase for a limited time only. So if you want to get your hands on those, let me know and we will deliver those to you as a gift. Wilt, why don't we jump over to your gift to the world?
So our local league's been using a Google Sheets spreadsheet to keep track of league teams and development over the last couple of seasons. And part of the new edition changeover, obviously everyone's scrambling to see what they can make work and find what resources are out there. I figured it's in Google Sheets, it's easy enough to edit. I thought I'd give it a go and see if I could jimmy my way into making the teams work in the new edition in the spreadsheet. It wasn't super clean sailing every second of the way, and I did tunnel focus onto it a bit too heavily a couple of times, but I've got all the new teams updated, all the new special rules added in. Everything's done exactly as it's written in the rulebook so far. Obviously waiting on any FAQs and erratas, we can keep that up to date as well. But if you would like to use a spreadsheet to keep track of everything for you, including automating star player point calculations and upgrade costs, then we'll have a link to download a copy of the spreadsheet for yourself. You just need to copy it to your own Google Drive because it does only work properly online. We discovered through testing that downloading a copy as a PDF or as a Excel spreadsheet does not work. But yeah, it's available. It's free. We're putting it out there, and hopefully it helps some people not have to stress about keeping paper copies of every single thing for every single game.
Yeah, and I just want to really commend the tool to you. Our league runs one game a month, so it doesn't quite make a lot of financial sense to use Toolplay to manage our league, and so we run off Google Sheets, and this is a really great tool for keeping track of your league team on. So it's really, really good. It's really designed as a league management tool. And that way, what we do is host everybody's league team in one Google Drive. We can keep an eye on them. People can check people's rosters at any time by just jumping on that Google Drive and looking at everybody's rosters. And only the owner of that team and the commissioners have editing rights, but everybody else has viewing rights. So it works really, really well in terms of having everyone's rosters in one place where people can have a look. Millsy, do you want to drop one of your two gifts?
I've got to drop the best one first. So on the drive back from the Big Ipswich this year, Babs and I were talking on our road trip about the Tournament of Champions, and one of the unique things about Tournament of Champions is that every miniature that's been given away at a Queensland tournament will be able to be played as a star player or some way in the tournament. And we were talking about the previous year's Big Ipswich where they gave away some snotlings. So Babs and I did some bouncing back to and fro to come up with a snotling star player. His name is Grimy Gonads. Now, Grimy is an overeager young snotling who is more than willing to show his coach that he has what it takes to make it on the Blood Bowl pitch. Legend has it that Grimy was asked to take to the field, but before his coach could issue instructions, Grimy was off and running. The coach's words were partially lost over the roaring crowd, and all Grimy heard was, "Go for the ball!" Grimy knew exactly what to do. He lined up 2 opposing troll slayers, rushed forwards, slid 3 feet on his knees, and delivered a double uppercut to the troll slayers' nether regions. The crowd erupted. The legend of Grimy Gonads and his nutcracker had entered the game forever. So we have some stats here for Grimy Gonads. He's pretty much straight up a snotling, but without dodge. He comes from the grand old cost of 30,000 gold pieces. He plays for all teams, and his special rule is the Nutcracker. So once per drive, Grimy can perform the Nutcracker against 2 opposition players in his tackle zones. When performing the Nutcracker, Grimy must move at least 1 square before performing this action. Roll 2d6, add Grimy's strength. If this roll equals or is greater than the combined strength of the players he is blitzing, then Grimy may perform 2 single die blocks against his opponents. These blocks happen simultaneously, just as if Grimy had multiple blocks. Offensive assists are calculated as normal, allowing Grimy to roll 2 block dice if he has appropriate assists. This will take the place of the team's blitz action for the turn.
We love Grimy. Grimy is brilliant. I want to get a little more serious, and I did allude to this with our interview with Clay, that we actually have a tournament rules pack that is a gift to the Blood Bowl community. We rushed this out very, very promptly, and I'm not saying it's a polished product, but what it is a base for you to consider what you want to do for your tournament. So we have a tournament rules pack that is there as a base, as a foundation that you can then adjust. Anything you want to change, you change. The whole purpose is getting it out there so that you have something to consider when you're designing your tournament with the new rules. So we wanted to support the whole Blood Bowl community as they adopt Blood Bowl 25. We want to make sure that that's as smooth and as seamless a process as we can. You know, it is a whole new meta. Everything is going to be different, and we wanted to assist tournament organizers to adopt the new rules. And so this tournament rules pack, its purpose is to help you with that. So if you are organizing a tournament, or you know a tournament organizer who's wrestling with what to do, have a read of our tournament rules pack with some suggestions of how to keep it. It's a fairly simple and a fairly conservative rules pack. We like it for a number of reasons, but because it's a very simple rules pack. It's not sophisticated. It's not complicated. It's fairly close to what the match play guide in the rulebook is expecting.
And speaking of tournaments, we have one other gift for our listeners, and it's a Down Underworld tournament bingo card. You might have, if you've been hooked up to the interwebs, and you might have seen via Discord or Facebook, there's been a few different types of Blood Bowl bingo cards available for people to try and scratch off or mark off as many of the things as possible. I know there's a hobby one going around at the moment, and it's basically done for, so somewhere in the year, you get to paint that extra team so you can mark it off on the bingo. So we've actually got a tournament bingo card. So not everyone that goes to a tournament is capable of winning or even wants to. So we've got this bingo card, as I said, that you can just scratch off, mark off, do whatever you like, and keep yourself amused during the tournament. And there's 25 different things you can do. There's things like pass alone a reroll, end a half without using a reroll, fail a rush into the end zone. Now, we've all done that. Successfully argue the call. There's quite a number of these ones that you can fill out. So, if you find yourself down at the bottom tables and you're going, why am I here? What have I done? Well, pull out that bingo card laminate it if you want, and try and complete it every tournament. Why not even print out a couple for your mates or for your whole club and see who can get a bingo first?
And just to add to this, I just wanted to say one of the reasons we were really keen to present this bingo card is to actually provide a tool for those coaches who may have found themselves tilting at a tournament and maybe taking the game a bit too seriously. I myself have had a couple of experiences of that in 2025. And maybe you just need to take a bit of a head check, a bit of a step back, and just play the game for the love of the game in a tournament. This was talked about in our interview with Simon Bond. But what I'm saying is, like it is a tool to help you step away from being super competitive and maybe being not a very nice person to be around, and actually just have a more enjoyable tournament experience where you're going with other goals than just to win everything. Are we up to the quiz? Cue quiz music. All right, guys, I am going to run you through a Christmas quiz. Are you ready for this? Okay, so here's how this quiz is going to work is if you answer the question successfully, you get 1 point. We will be tallying these points. And it is possible for both of you to answer the same question correctly, but you cannot use the same answer. So here we go. This is, you can jump in for all of them. All right, first, so you probably maybe just say your own name, Millsy or Wilts, if you want to chime in. Okay, so first question is around deer, right? We know Santa has his reindeer. I believe the correct answer is 9 of them. So my question for you is name... What is the name of the only deer that plays Blood Bowl?
Millsy, is it Rowana Forestfoot?
No, it is not Rowana Forestfoot. Rowana Forestfoot is the rider of the deer.
Oh.
Wilt, do you have an answer?
No, I do not.
The answer is Flashhoof is actually Rowena Forestfoot's deer. There you go. So there's our first quiz. Now, my bonus question is, which reindeer of Santa's is the best at Blood Bowl?
It'd have to be Blitzen.
Correct. Speaking of gifts, all right, Christmas gifts. My second question is, what are the 4 gifts that Grombrindle gives?
They are skills to other players.
Yes, and what are they, Millsy?
Break tackle.
Correct.
Guard.
Wilts, do you want to have a crack?
Dauntless has got to be one of them, surely.
Ding!
And Mighty Blow, I think, was one of the other
Correct.
ones.
Ding!
And what was the last one? There was something. Was it Sure Feet?
Yes, it was. Well done. All right, I'm going to give you a point for each. So that means Millsy's on 1, Wilts is on 3. Question number 3. Speaking of gifts, let's talk about Warhammer's gifts to us. Which 3 miniatures released since the 2016 edition have had a subsequent release? That is, they have been released twice since 2016.
Griffo Ball.
Wilts?
Go, Wilts.
Oh, well, I'll let Millsy have the griff, but obviously going along with that is Mighty Zug.
Bzzz. No, Mighty Zug's only had the 1 release.
Oh, okay.
Has Griff?
Millsy, you want a second guess?
Well, Griff.
Yeah, I'll take Griff. It's correct. Ding.
Varag. Good.
Varag is correct.
Oh yeah.
And the third? Time's up. It is the Rat Ogre. The Rat Ogre has been re-released. Leading to speculation that the re-released Rat Ogre was originally going to be Bone Ripper. No? Is that no? Not Bone Ripper.
Head Splitter.
What's the Head Splitter?
Head Splitter.
Do I get a point for
Okay,
that?
question. No, but we are 3 apiece, so that's it's close. Okay, New Year's resolutions. New Year's resolutions is a time to reinvent yourself. Okay, which orc team had models released by Games Workshop in the 2016 era and have since not become an orc team anymore? They are now a Black Orc team.
I know this one.
Wilts.
Go Wilts.
Is it the Auckland Raiders?
Correct. Ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
Yes, you can officially get Auckland Raider miniatures because they were the add-on pack. There were resin conversions produced by Forge World to add on to the plastic orcs that were parts like the heads and extra plates to turn the orcs into the Auckland Raiders rather than the gouged eye. And likewise, the human team could be turned into the Bright Crusaders. 5. Now, this is more traditional Christmas because Christmas is famous for snow, which we don't really get in December in Australia, or very, very rarely. So my question for you is, under standard Blood Bowl rules, what does snow do in Blood Bowl?
Millsy?
Wilts.
Oh, Wilts is first.
Yeah.
If we're talking about a blizzard on the kickoff on the weather table, then only quick and short passes may be attempted. You may not use long and long bomb passes, and you can't use Hail Mary.
Oh, Millsy.
Yes, go Millsy.
And Russia's suffer a -1.
Yes, 1 each.
Go for it.
One each.
Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
Okay, now question 6. Now, this might not seem like a Christmas quiz question to you because this one is called Census. My question for you, Census, how many total NAF members are there currently in the NAF database? I will take a guess from each, and whoever's closest will get the point.
I'm going to go 32,000.
I'll say 28,000.
Bzz, the answer is more than 42,500. Our most recent Queensland coach has a coach number of 42,506.
Well, I was closest.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant actual.
That's what I thought too.
Not actual.
All right, let's go to question 7. Getting more appropriate for Australia. Christmas time is a time for summer holidays. My question is around the Nippers team, which is the Big V's version of halflings that are surf lifesavers. And my question is, name somebody who helped create that team.
Ugni. Oh, Christian Shaga. Christian Shaga. We interviewed him. He talked about it.
Did you say Millsy first?
Millsy, Christian
There's a buzzer,
Spraga.
you know. I'll take both answers, Millsy. You can have 2 points for that.
Nice.
Because you said Ugni. Do you want to have there is a third answer, Wilts. Do you want it?
Johnny Wilkinson?
Correct.
Yeah.
Well done. Awesome. Question 8. This is the one horse open sleigh question. All right. Name a vehicle in Blood Bowl and one of their skills.
Wilts.
Go, Wilts.
Snotling pump wagon.
Yes.
And they have stand firm.
Nice. Millsy, you want to guess?
Yeah. I'll go the Death Roller, and it has Dirty Player.
Nice. I'll give you a point each. Okay. Question 9. 3 wise men. Okay, they trekked a long way to give gifts to Jesus. Name 3 people who were paid money to work on Blood Bowl rules.
Millsy. Now I'm gonna say Jervis Johnson. That was his job. He created it.
Good answer.
Would Andy Hall be one of them?
I will pay that. Absolutely.
And James Hewitt.
Bing, bing, bing.
Oh, yes.
Okay, Wilts. To get a point as well, name 3 illustrators of Blood Bowl.
That wouldn't be Christian Schwager, would it?
I'll pay that. Not what I was thinking, but I'll pay it.
I would say, what's his name?
I know it.
Dave, what's his name?
Dave's not here, man.
I'll have to pass.
Well, there are quite a few. Mark Gascoigne, Wayne England, Pete Nifton, and Victor Fernandez is one I know. There are a couple of others. There's a female artist, I don't remember her name, who is a current artist for the Blood Bowl art. I don't remember her name off the top of my head, but I would have taken her name too. All right, question 10. No room in the inn. What is the maximum number of additional skills you may give a player in a Blood Bowl league?
Millsy.
And a bonus point if you can tell me how many star player points is the minimum you need to get there under the Blood Bowl 25 rule set?
Well,
Go, Millsy.
it's 6,
Correct.
and I know that in LRB days it was 176, I think. What's the minimum number? So, sorry, what is minimum number to get the 6?
Of SPP.
Yep.
46.
Bingo! That is actually the correct answer.
Yoo-hoo!
Wow. Wow, you're blowing Wilt out of the water. Okay, question 11. Flee to Egypt. So here's my question. Flee to Egypt. If a Doom Diver in Blood Bowl 25 is in its own end zone, what is the number of squares it can flee in one turn?
Oh, okay.
No additional skills.
Wilts.
Go, Wilt.
By my calculation, if the Doom Diver's in his own end zone, the maximum number of squares he can move is 21. Because the Troll's standing 1 square in front of him, he can throw him 6 squares. He can glide for up to 6 squares. He can move 6 squares, and then he can go for it twice.
Brilliant answer. Well done. Perfect maths. Okay, question 12, our final question. So, we know that Christmas is not just for Christians. It's also in the Jewish religious calendar. It is Hanukkah, which is the festival of lights. Name a star player with light in their name. Now, it doesn't have to be a star player. It can be a team. It can also be a coach or a notable person in Blood Bowl lore. There are at least 5 correct answers here.
Light.
I'm blank on this one, sorry.
All right, I'll call time. Here we go. The one that's going to slap you in the face, the Skaven Blight Scramblers, has light in the name.
Oh.
Also, even more obvious, Dungeon Bowl. One of the colleges is the College of Light.
Yeah.
There is also, in the lore, the Lorelorn Lightfooters. Good thing they're not the Lorelorn Lightfingers. But anyway, there's also 2 star players that you could have mentioned. Miriam Lightning and another one, Caspar Runeflight. There you are. So there's some interesting factoids for you.
Oh, isn't there a newest skill now with like lethal flight? Oh, there's
You
one.
could have mentioned that. Too late.
Oh.
Too late. Do we want the bonus question? We have a winner. Well, I can reveal that Millsy has won 10-8. So maybe the bonus question's worth 3 points. We ready for this?
Oh, come on.
And
I finally won something. Don't take it away from me.
Oh, all right. Well, it's up to you.
Last round for all the marbles.
I think Wilts is going to win this one. You ready? All right. This question is called Little Drummer Boy. Do you want to guess what the question is and guess your answer?
Oh, so we have to guess the question and the answer.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
What's the best team in Blood Bowl and why is it Slan?
No. Little Drummer Boy. Come on, you can work this out. Little Drummer Boy.
A Warg drummer.
Noise. What does the Warg drummer do? That's the question.
Oh, it pushes players back. Or pushes all players. It pushes all players back.
Wilts, do you want to try and improve that answer?
It allows you to push D3 players back 1 square each.
D3 squares, actually, to be precise.
Oh, come on.
I'm going to call it a tie, which therefore means that Millsy is our winner at 11 points to 9.
Yes.
All right, well, my sign out for this Christmas special is I hope you get some great Blood Bowl goodies under your Christmas tree. I also hope you get some quiet downtime so you might be able to put some paint on those miniatures with playing potential, as Wills likes to say. I'd also really like to say, hey, I hope you get an opportunity to play a game or 2 of the new edition, because that's what I'm looking forward to in this Christmas season.
Yeah, well, I'd just like to add to that as well. Just say, hope your year was a great one. Hope your Christmas break or your Christmas Day and Boxing Day spent time with the relatives, as we usually do here in Australia. Hope it pans out fine and that you do find a bit of downtime to get away from those relatives and maybe go and read up a rule or 2 in the Season 3 rulebook.
As a retail worker myself, I'm going to give a shout out to everyone else out there struggling through another season of madness and silliness. And I'm going to quote a famous movie star, Robert Downey Jr., who was in a movie called Tropic Thunder where he was a dude playing another dude disguised as another dude. And I'm just going to say one simple word: survive!
Always a good Blood Bowl strategy when you're snollings, like grimy gonads.
Go, Grimy. Go, Grimy, go.